Hey guys, we're gonna let everybody jump on here, and then we'll get started. I see quite a few folks, and if you have any questions or you want to jump in, please do. I think I can actually have your voice work, but I definitely know I can have your hand go up, and we can interact because this is definitely for us. It's for you guys. It's for all of us to connect. So if anybody out there wants to just let me know you can hear me, that'd be awesome. Right now, I'm just looking at a screen over here to make sure that I can see if everybody's there. Let's see. Looks like a whole bunch of you guys are raising your hands, which is awesome. All right, cool. All right, so you guys can hear me. All right, Dave and Wendy, good to have you guys here. Everybody that's joining, like there are so many people that, you know what that just tells me? It's like makes me happy that you guys are joining something where we're gonna focus on connecting beyond the fear, because right now it's so much about fear. Like everything is a red alert, as if it wasn't already a red alert. It's even more a red alert now. And I know you guys are. I know I'm feeling the angst and the concern. It's been challenging. It's been hard, just knowing that everything is changing. California, New York, being put on lockdown, Illinois, I guess. I'm expecting the rest of the country to have that happen within the next 48 hours this weekend, maybe tonight. I don't know. I mean, we are dealing with something very serious, and it's really happening. And at the same time, we're still here, and you know, we're all in this together. And you've probably heard that. A lot of places are saying that. A lot of people are saying that we are in this together. And we are going to get past this. And I know that there are a lot of people that are getting sick, and we're praying for them. We're hoping. I know I generally throw out the word hope pretty bad. And I say, you know, don't smoke a bunch of hopium. There are certain things that we're going to talk about doing, which go beyond just hoping. But I think there's something valuable about having hope, because the future truly is going to be brighter on the other side of this. This is going to be challenging. And I'm going to challenge you guys to find what my friend Brent says, or he actually asks. He'll ask, well, what's the good in this? What's he's trying to find the bright light in something. And special prayers for his dad right now, who just went into the hospital and is being tested. And, you know, we're thinking about you, buddy. I want to really talk about some things that we can do. And to give you context, a lot of you know the story. I'm going to share it anyway. In 2008, I had a pretty big meltdown, and it's what a lot of people are going to go through now. Some of you may already be going through this, where I built up a life, which is what has happened to a lot of you the last 10 years, built up businesses, jobs good, life's good. And then I lost it. And not only did I lose the company and the money, and we're talking a lot, because it was everything I had and more. And so it doesn't matter. For me, it was 20 million. It doesn't matter if it's 20 million, 20,000. If it's your last $20, it's still everything you've got. That matters, because if we panic because we think we're out of resources, then we've lost the whole meaning to being human, because our relationships are truly the most valuable thing. The relationships, our health, these are things that you can't take away with a pandemic or a recession, a collapse. You can't take them away. And then ultimately our mindset on how we're going to interpret things and taking responsibility. One of the things that bugged me was watching a lot of these people out at spring break this week, just partying like it was 1999. They're probably playing the theme song. And I was watching them and I thought, wow, this is completely reckless, and they're not taking responsibility. And what they're doing is they're not thinking about other people. They're just thinking about their own experience. And I think that's really important right now. It's really important for all of us to be thinking about each other, and to be beyond kind, beyond compassionate and gentle. Back in 2008, to give you that perspective, my experience was losing everything. Okay, great. You know what? I lost my money. I lost my health. I ended up in the hospital thinking I was dying. And my reaction to it wasn't, okay, what's the good in here? What can I do with this experience? It was, I'll just ignore it. I'll just go out and be a hedonistic punk. And I think you're going to see that. You're going to see some hedonism. You're going to see some people that are they're lashing out out of fear. And there's another alternative, and that's acting out of love and acting out of connection, and putting that into your conscious mind so that it drips into your subconscious and unconscious mind. My experience there was the end of the world is happening because all my money went away and I feel terrible. So I'm going to numb myself with whatever substance I can find. And it was a great way to numb myself. And on the other side of that, what I realized was, okay, it didn't kill me. I'm still around. And what it did was embarrass me because of my actions in those times, the way that I showed up. We're all going to have an opportunity to show up a certain way that we decide, because we are humans, we're not animals. We go into a reptilian space in our brains where it's a primal instinct of survival. And I know that's hard to fight because it's very, very primal. It's very there. We have a choice. And I'm going to challenge you guys to think about some tactical stuff and some stuff that may have occurred to you, but just look at everything differently and then reach out to each other. I'm going to spend a lot of time, because I think we're going to have a lot of time going through this process, weeks, months. It could be quite a long time. I think it probably will be. There's an opportunity for us to find ways to connect that we've never really connected before. I think one of the things that's really happened, unfortunately, since social media and these different things that have happened in our lives, we've decided somehow that that's connection. And what has happened is that we've become very unhappy and we're not really connected. Just texting some random person or your Facebook feed is not really connecting. What's really connecting is something that's heartfelt, something that's deeper, something that's vulnerable, something that's authentic. And it could be through screens. In fact, right now, here we are. And I'm going to give you the best of what I've got. I'm going to share who I am, whatever I can do to help you guys. We're here. I truly believe we're in this together. And so I'm going to spend the next weeks and months doing everything I can. And I'm open to suggestions. If there's things that you guys can come up with, it's not just about what I'm doing. And this is not just a one-way thing. This is really about hopefully lifting you guys up so that you'll lift your communities, your friends, your family up, and we can get through this together and be proud of how we went through it. There's two real choices: being proud of how we're doing this and being embarrassed. And so I'm gonna really challenge you guys to think big. Like what can we do? We're going to connect with our families. I know some of you right now are in your homes and you've got families and you're going, oh my gosh, how am I going to deal with my kids for the next 3 months or whatever? Because hey, school's out probably in all likelihood for the year, at least until the summer, and who knows. So we're thinking this is a totally different thing. Like, I don't know how I can deal with my spouse right now every minute of the day. These are new things. And so we have to start understanding how to be humans with other humans in a very close, connected way, and also finding ways to connect beyond our homes, because we are going to be isolated. And we can choose whether we want to make that isolation the only thing, or if we're just going to use it as an obstacle that we get around, overcome. And I think that there's an opportunity. Like, it's funny because I see Zoom, who many of you have used, and they are blowing up. Like they're at capacity because everybody's connecting, and it's really cool that we're actually seeing each other and we're using this technology. So that's one way to do it. That's a really good way to do it. The first thing that we have to understand, though, is that we're going to spend a lot of time with ourselves. And I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of times, I know I've done this, I don't want to spend time with myself because the stuff that goes on in my ears kind of freaks me out. And so we find something else to distract us. And that can be all sorts of things: food, alcohol, sex, adventure, fast cars, whatever it is. We're going to have a chance to really develop some different ways of thinking, different ways of being. Lots of time to develop some new skills. I have a group of guys and we get together and we were talking about what we can learn. With weeks and months being at home, most of us are going to be at home. There's an opportunity to really retool. And maybe it's learning a language. Maybe it's just learning how to be you and be still. Like, one of the things that, it's not on here, but doing nothing. The art of doing nothing is an epic thing because we're not really used to it. The closest thing I've seen is and experienced is meditation and yoga during Shavasana. Shavasana is when you're lying down and you're still. There's nothing going on except your breath. And if you can practice that, you can practice the sense of being, and you'll find stillness. And when you find stillness, you'll find clarity. And in clarity, there's true power. So starting with your breath, this is a really great place to start everything. Start your day, start your life. and then really stay there, because the more clear you are, the more present you'll be, the less anxious you'll be, the more you'll be able to connect with people. And this is a challenge for me all the time, because I've got a million things. I've got 3 screens. I've got all these devices, and I'm still, I'm going really fast, and I have to sit still. I have to get myself to sit still. It's going to help all you guys with your being stuck, more or less, physically where you're at. We're going to be in a space for a while. We've gone through a lot of this stuff. We've gone through World War I, World War II. We went through the Great Depression. In all likelihood, we're going to have a depression this year. I mean, there's one of the books that I want to share that I think is really, really great. It's called Thinking for a Change. So it's by John Maxwell. And in this book, I read this thing about 10 years ago. And I was really good at optimistic thinking. I thought everything is going to be good. And that's where a lot of us have been the last 10 years. We've been thinking, oh, it's good. Everything is good. And then we missed this whole pragmatic, we missed a realistic thinking. There's all sorts of different types of thinking. There's like a dozen or 15 different types of thinking. We missed it. And right now we're scrambling, and we're going into reptilian thinking, which is really no thinking. Because one of the things that I can tell you is we're getting very emotional. And when emotions go up, our intelligence, you guys probably know what I'm going to say, right? Our intelligence goes down. So when we go into a state of reptile, we get really emotional, and we start doing things very animalistic. And instead of getting still with our emotions dropping so that our intellect can go up, they're inverse. We go very emotional, and then we make irrational decisions. We go into a place where we think, I'm never going to find a roll of toilet paper again. And some sad person stabbed somebody else because they thought that was the last roll of toilet paper on the planet. I mean, really? There's no compassion there. That was pure fear. And we're better than that. We are better than that. We can do better. So the first thing we have to do is we have to understand that we're going to get through it. In 2008, when I melted down, I didn't think I was going to get through it. So I just figured, this is the end. And here we are 12 years later. We're all going to get through this. Okay. That's a fact. And some of us are going to end up in the hospital. Like, things are going to happen. We're going to get through it, though. One of the things that I have in my life, both personally and in business, I have rules. And as many of you have seen my business rules, my real estate rules, my investing rules. I have 3 core rules for the people in my life and my team. And this is the do show. It's do the best you can, do the right thing, and show them you care. 3 rules. It's really simple. We all need something to give us guidance. These are principles. These are really something. It's a great book, by the way, is Ray Dalio's Principles. And when we think about these rules, if we ask ourselves, am I doing the best I can? Am I doing the right thing? And am I showing people I care? If you ask yourself those rules constantly, you'll notice you're showing up differently. Your spirit will start to open up. You won't be thinking, if you show people you care, you won't be going into scarcity. You'll be moving into abundance. It will shift you if you have simple rules that you can constantly ask. Am I doing the right thing? Is going and breaking into somebody's house to try to get food, is that the right thing? It's very primal. Maybe you could ask, and maybe we can share. I mean, there's just different things that we can do if we ask better questions. And that's the question is, am I doing the best I can? And, you're in close proximity. Am I doing the best I can with my family? Am I loving on them? And am I being kind? Am I taking a break when I want to react? Am I just taking a breath? That's a great strategy, by the way. Breathing. Just breathe. One of the things that I did in 2008 that I look back and I go, okay, I'm not going to do that next time, was I didn't connect. I disconnected. I spent my time mostly in isolation. And when I was connecting, I wasn't doing it very authentically. That's a huge mistake because we tend to shrivel up when we're not connecting. We're social beings. And so this isolation stuff is hard. There's a way to do it with video, with FaceTime, with Skype, with Zoom, and staying connected will allow you to ask better questions. And if you have people that you love and respect and trust, they'll help you ask better questions. We're going to do this a lot. I'm going to give you guys ways to get support from me and from my team and people that are helping with this project. And this project is about connection. It's about world-class relationships that we help to create and nurture, both from us to you guys and for you guys to other people, so we can ripple this thing. I mean, this virus is deadly, but you know what? You know what's more powerful? The act of love. The act of love and compassion is more powerful than any virus could ever be. And that's our job right now. It's to find ways to connect with each other and love each other and compassionately find ways to care for each other. That's how we're going to get through this thing. And finding little things to do for people. I was watching some of the news, looking for things, I guess, and then finding them that actually lifted me up. And they're out there. And if you don't see them, a part of your job and our job, my job, is to create them. Find ways that you can help people. Think about that. Loving people is not, if I give it, I don't have it anymore. I give it, it's now in two places, and we can ripple this thing. This is not a zero-sum game. A lot of wealth that we've created is more of a zero-sum game. If I have it, somebody else doesn't have it. And our brains have been wired to just do this, and then we stop breathing, we stop connecting, we're just holding and hoarding. And when that goes away, some of us are going to lose everything physically. We're going to start over. And that's reality. I mean, this is part of thinking for a change is reality. And so that is going to happen. What I can tell you is that it doesn't matter if that happens, because if you've got stuff between your ears, you're going to be able to create it again. In fact, when Henry Ford was asked that 100 years ago, about 100 years ago now, what would you do if you lost everything? He said, I'd have it back in 5 years. And I can tell you that's what it takes. That mindset, because when I lost it all and then I got through my stuff, it took about 5 years of going back to work, and I recreated what it had taken me the previous 15 years to do. And it gets faster and easier as you do it each time. So trust me, it's about what's in your ears. It's about your relationships. It's not about how many zeros you have in your bank account. A lot of times I can tell you that it's also, and many of you have this experience, the more money you have, the less connected you feel. The less love, the less happy. And it doesn't mean money is bad. I think money is great. I'd rather have resources. It's not the only thing. I mean, I remember having $1 million and then 2 million, and it was like, okay, more and more and more. It wasn't more happy. It was just more money. And I didn't know how to do both. Money is an idea. That's the bottom line here. It is wealth and money are an idea. Let's put money is an idea. Back when I was doing real estate, I remember like the third house I bought, I was still super young, and I remember I found this guy, I found a house, I bought the house, and this guy showed up and he wanted to buy it from me, and he was going to give me a down payment. And I was asking like $2,000 down, and he said, hey, can I give you more down and have my payment lowered, because I was going to be the bank. And I said, sure. And he said, I'm going to do 25 down. I said, okay, cool. So I wrote everything up, and I was like, all right, I could use an extra $500. And he came in and he handed me a $25,000 cashier's check. And I mean, this is when 25,000 was a lot of money, right? Then it was 20 years ago. And I remember thinking, wow. And at the time I almost didn't know how to process it, because I'd never really had that experience of that much money. A year earlier, I was making $20,000 a year pre-tax. And in this case, he gave me money. He gave me more than I made in a year in one little, transaction. And I remember thinking, gosh, this isn't that much less than my dad makes in a year. And so what I started to realize was that I could create really whatever I wanted to. The level of my wealth, my physical or my financial wealth, was never going to really exceed the level of my brain, my mindset, my personal development. And it was then that I really started pushing the development personally, the personal development, which I think is a great thing to spend a lot of time with the next months, however long we go. Well, actually, take that back, the rest of your life. When you understand that you can develop wealth by creating it out of thin air, you start to realize, oh, there's unlimited amounts. It's not about a certain finite number. And I think that will help us set ourselves free from worrying about the stock market, because right now all we're seeing is, and then it's down and we go, oh my gosh. I mean, one of the things that I've spent the last 10 years working on is helping people get out of that space so they're not relying on the roller coaster, because one, it's totally unreliable. And two, you have no control and you're not learning anything. And the alternative is taking responsibility for your financial life and your wealth and doing something different, finding different mechanisms, different tools, different people, not just somebody that's going to sell you mutual funds. That idea that we can get wealthy by just following a formula of passiveness is a lie. It doesn't work. It's not true. And we're finding that out right now. The biggest problem isn't that we're down, those that are in the stock market, that we're down 30, 40%. It's that we don't have any idea how to recreate it. And it took a lot longer than 2 weeks to build up wealth in terms of the stock market portfolio. So if the Dow is at 30,000 and it drops down to 20,000, that's a 35% drop. It's going to take a 50% gain to get back to where it was. How long does a 50% gain take? Years, at least. And so right now people are going, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever to get back. And we don't know when it's going to come back, because a lot of people are going to be out of jobs. A lot of companies are going to go bankrupt. A lot of that stuff's happening. So this comes back to responsibility. It's one of the ultimate themes here. And it's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, is taking full responsibility for everything in your life. No more victim, no more blaming, none of that. Own it. Like, it's, when you own your life, Marcus Aubrey Marcus, Own Your Day, Own Your Life, great book. And I'm probably totally mixing it all up, but guy in Austin. And that I love that. And probably I'll end up reading it again in the next week or two. These type of books are going to help you shift from wherever you are in fear to a place of control, where you control your mind, you control your life, and total responsibility. It will change everything. So you'll say, okay, you know what? I'm going to be on house quarantine. I'm going to be hanging out for a while. And it will allow you to go through that with a sense of control and hope and optimism for the future, because you start realizing, okay, this is going to be months or years, and then I'm going to be on the other side. And right now is a great time to start building something. One of the greatest things that you guys can do is become an artist. And I say artist, I'm going to put this down here. Becoming an artist where you're creating something. It doesn't matter what you're creating, whether it's wood or a website. When you start creating, there's something about being an artist where you get lost in it, and it will allow you to find something special, the gifts that you have. We all have gifts. Finding those gifts, whether you're a healer with your hands, with your mind, whether you're a coach, whether you paint, whether you're a genius with spreadsheets, you can create stuff, you can create things and then share them. It allows us to bond to other people, and there's a sense of, wow, like I've had so many different companies and different projects, and I get so excited about doing them. And most of the time they don't make any money. They don't do anything except consume time, and it allows me to grow. And that's what I want you guys to find. Find something that allows you to grow. It's not just about finding another deal. I promise you, there's going to be all sorts of awesome deals and opportunities. They're going to be incredible. This is about finding a way to grow you, because the more you grow you, the more you're going to be able to step into the opportunities. If you don't grow you first, there's no way for you to go after the opportunities, because you won't be ready. Spiritually, you will not be ready. You have to open up. You have to find a bigger version of you. And that takes the thinking. It takes you sitting still, looking in the mirror, asking, am I doing the best? Am I doing the right thing? Am I showing people I care? That's how you grow. That's how we all grow together, by finding these rules and doing things together. One of the things that is maybe obvious to you guys right now, maybe not, we're going to have to get really comfortable with doing nothing, where we're so used to stimulation. We're so used to going out. I mean, I used to go out pretty much every day. Like I would go out, not to work. Like I would work, but I'm talking like every night I'm going out and I would get some stimulation of other people. And that's not happening. That is not going to happen anytime soon. I don't expect to have that happen until maybe this summer. And that's a really weird thing to think about doing nothing. One of the things that happens is our brain plays tricks on us. Our mind starts going in crazy directions. And we can go into some really weird places. And we can go into some dark places. When tragedy happens, when people get sick, some people are going to die. Sadly, that is going to happen. And so what do we do with that? We're going to have a lot of time by ourselves. And even when we have kids, there's still going to be a lot of time. And we have to learn what to do with that. And I think that a great place to start is going back to this guy. We all could learn how to breathe. There's a ton online about breath work. The most interesting one, I think, is Wim Hof. So if you have never looked up Wim Hof, look up Wim Hof. I think this is how you, Wim Hof. Just Google him. The breath work. It's fascinating, and it'll give you something. There's tons of other places we can go, whether it's yoga experiences or meditation courses. That breath will bring you back into a sense of being, where you don't let your mind go into maybe bad places or destructive places. Like every time we look at the news, do we ever see something that, okay, there's 1% of the time where we actually see something and it inspires us. The rest of the time it's like, oh my gosh, the world is falling apart. And truly on our news now, in our media, it can consume us. And so what's another choice that we can make? We take responsibility. We can make a choice to start breathing, hug someone, reach out, tell somebody that you love them. This is the overriding thing, is responsibility and love. The art that you create, it's about loving other people through the best that you have. It's about bringing your emotions down into a place where you can think and connect without being a primate or a reptile. I guess maybe primates are better than reptiles because they're pretty lovey. There's a way that we can go through this that we're going to be happy with, and there's a way that we can go through this that nobody's going to want to acknowledge down the road. When you're thinking about how you're going to show up in the coming months, there really is an opportunity for us to be our best, our greatest selves, to serve others, to love like we've never loved before. Imagine that. Imagine loving like you've never loved before. Imagine loving freely and connecting with people and just showing them how much you care. Not just thinking about it, not just, my family knows I love them. But what if you did that? What if you said, okay, well, you know what? I have all weekend. I got nothing really else that matters more than connecting. So what am I going to do? See what happens. See what happens when you go out there and you connect and you love on people. Reaching out to people, whether you do it every day or whether you do it once every 10 years, reach out. We all need it. I need it. I know we all need it. We all need to connect, or we lose our spirit. We lose our reason. Money, investing, businesses, that's not enough. There's got to be something bigger. It's got to be for more, and it's got to be for other people. I really think that this is one of the greatest opportunities, maybe the greatest opportunity of our lifetime, that this is going on. And if we look at it like that, I was even thinking about, wow, this is forcing me to sit still for a minute and maybe learn how to do some things that I was too busy to do. And maybe it forced, like cooking. It's maybe the greatest opportunity ever. It's going to force us to look in the mirror. It's going to challenge our humanity, our belief systems. It's really going to force us to be more human. And I don't think anything could be more of a gift and a tragedy at the same time. The question is, how do we look at it? And if we're dooming and glooming and we're saying that the world is falling apart and everything is terrible, and where does that leave you? It leaves you in a place where you're just stuck. It's really not empowering. What's empowering is asking, what can I do? Who can I be? And it's not just saying I'm going to be an elephant or I'm going to be a superhero. It's what am I going to do that makes me a superhero, that makes me somebody that people are proud of, that it makes them smile. You know, there's a question that I ask in terms of relationships. When I look at people, if somebody calls me, there's a question. Do I look at the phone and get excited? Do I smile, or do I go, oh, decline? You know, what is that? And how is that for you with other people? Are they grabbing their phone as fast as possible? Do you have a special ring on their phone where they know it's you and they can't wait? Or are they like, oh no, have they blocked you? And like, you're always going to voicemail. You know, what is it? And now is an opportunity for us to be the person in those other people's lives where they can't wait to hear from us. They get so excited. Like, those are the relationships that make us happy. They truly lift us up, and we can do better to create that. And it's up to us. It's not an accident. This is not something that happens magically, that people have great relationships. It's about the circulation. One of the really important things that I learned during this whole 2008 to 2012 was that there were 3 C's. And I've talked about these before. There's consumption, and we've been great at this. We've been really good at consuming over the last decades. I mean, it's one of the crazy things. We're just consuming, and China's booming, and we're consuming, and it's like this cycle of, it's unbelievable hedonistic consumption. We've gotten really good at it. I was awesome. Like, I was the consumer superhero. It was terrible. And then there's the contribution, where the other C, the opposite, where you're consuming or you're contributing. And then there's what I realized was that neither one of these isolated is enough. There's got to be circulation. And to put this in terms of something else, it's not just about consuming food or stuff. It's about consuming love. It's about consuming connection and contributing. If you think about this way, I was really terrible at being able to consume a gift. If someone said, I love you, or they handed me a gift, I had a hard time with that. I wasn't really good at that. I could contribute, I could say it, or I could give a gift, but I wasn't really good at consuming it. I wasn't good at absorbing it. So what happened is I took away the opportunity for somebody else to contribute. And what I found was that it's important and critical that there's circulation. We've got to be able to receive it. When people love on us, it's about receiving that. And it's not just about giving it back. It's about receiving it. Sometimes our reaction is, somebody says, I love you, and we go, I love you too. Or these different ways of showing affection. Or, hey, you know what? Nice shoes. And you go, oh yeah, you have nice shoes too. It kind of takes away the whole idea, or the whole emotion, the whole experience of consuming and allowing somebody to contribute to you. So I would challenge you to think about how you can absorb and embrace when someone's doing something for you, whether they're contributing to you with words or whatever it is. Great book. It's called The 5 Love Languages for relationships, both with your significant other and with other people, because we all hear love, and we feel love differently, whether it's words, whether it's touch, whether it's time, whether it's acts of service. There's all these different ways to do it. So finding ways to contribute to people based on how they feel it is a very powerful gift in and of itself, just to understand other people. I would challenge you to do that, especially with your significant other, your kids, your parents. Figure that out. You may be realizing you've been giving them gifts and all they really wanted was a hug. Or you've been hugging them and all they wanted you to do is say, you know what, I'm really proud of you. Really simple, and yet totally confusing, because people don't understand that we're speaking different languages. So thinking about those 5 love languages. And the great thing about Amazon right now, one of them, is that you can get all these books right now, very quickly. You know, you can, and you're going to have time to read them, listen to them, whatever it is. 5 love languages. It's by a guy named Gary Chapman. I think if we start with that, I think that there's value, profound value in, and it's almost like a great baseline. When we figure out how to circulate love and connection, everything else is going to get really easy. And having rules around how we're showing up. 3 rules. how much simpler does it get? Like, you don't need a manual on the rules. I think when companies have that, or we have all these rules about what a great life would be, how about if you did the best you could, you do the right thing, and you show people you care? What would happen? What would happen with everything if we all had those rules? Like, it would be amazing. The next time somebody flips you off or gets mad or isn't nice to you or whatever, you go, you know what? I'm going to show them I care, because this isn't even about me. It's thinking about how we're showing up and being mindful of it, and not just reactionary. There's a lot of reactionary. There's plenty of, all of you guys that are here and you're here for a reason. You're here because maybe Fox and CNN are not where you want to live. You don't necessarily just want to be in the panic and the chaos. You want to be in a place where you own your mind and you own your heart, and you're building your spirit. That's more important to you than getting absorbed into that vortex of chaos and discontent. Finding your rules and finding circulation, what you'll find is it'll put you in a place of growth. And when you have growth, you're going to realize that wealth is a direct reflection of the growth. Your wealth is going to be fine the more that you focus on your growth and the deeper you take responsibility for everything. And during these coming weeks and months, and however long we go into this thing, it's going to be hard to just do it on your own. In fact, I would say it's impossible. I would say that it's not, we're not humans to be isolated and by ourselves. It's about connecting. So I'm going to do everything I can this year, next year, for the rest of my life. I think that's why I'm here, to help you guys connect and help you be more human. I think we could all be more human. We could be better humans. There are people that, I don't know how you could be a better human, Tom, but I'm sure there's something. And that's what we have to inspire other people to do as well. Find ways to be better us, to inspire other people. It's always interesting when we do great and you see somebody smiling, you see somebody that's just like rocking it, and you're going, what are they doing? Because I want some of that. And you can be that. It is a choice. And it's not being fake. It's literally just being the best of who you are and allowing that person to come out. We all have it. It's just waiting. It's like waiting. It's the human potential, the love and joy that's sitting in. And I know it's sometimes you're thinking, what? How am I supposed to be happy and joyful? Because you're sitting here watching this and you're still breathing. And that is a lot more than a lot of people. And so there's really, truly an opportunity for you guys right now. I want to see if you guys have any questions that I might be able to help with. Let me just see if I can actually see this. I'm gonna look at my computer, so I'm gonna kind of bounce over here a little bit. Let's see. You guys are awesome, by the way. Thanks for all the chat marks. I have several marks. Oh, you guys are great. I appreciate all the comments and everything. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys an opportunity, if you want to be part of a tribe, if you want to be part of something that's optimistic and hopeful, and we're not going to just sing Kumbaya. Okay. I mean, we might sing Kumbaya, but it's not going to just be a Kumbaya and that's it. It's going to be a place where we come together and we grow. I'm going to do a lot of the teaching, and right now it's going to be virtual, so everybody can do it anywhere in the world. And it's an opportunity, if you want that, if you want to have the connection, and maybe it gives you some new ideas and new tools to where you can take those and create your own tribes in your communities, additional tribes. I would love to see you guys do that and leverage. Take anything, borrow, steal, whatever. Here's the thing. There's no there's almost no original ideas. They're just regurgitated, remanufactured. And so I want you guys to take whatever you like throughout the rest. It's kind of like what Bruce Lee would do with martial arts. He would just say, okay, I'm going to learn this. I like this. I'm going to throw that stuff away about that art. Same thing. If you want to do that, take what you like, share it with other people, and maybe you're going to change some lives. I would say maybe, but I'm pretty sure that that's going to happen. So if you want to do that in about 2 hours, you're going to be able to send a message with, if you want, the word. We're going to use a new sticky. Because as you can see, this is sort of like, we're just going to do this, get going. If you send the word tribe and you text it to 72,000, that'll just let me know that you're interested in doing something and being a part of a tribe, and then helping to build us together. And then also maybe being able to use that to help other people outside of this tribe that we're creating. I think that we have to find ways to lead, because a lot of people are lost. And I know some of you guys are lost and you're looking for answers. I can tell you that through all the years, what became very obvious was that the answers were inside me if I had great questions, and usually the questions came from somebody else. And so if I can help you with better questions, I know you guys have answers, and the best parts of you are just waiting to show up. We're going to spend time building you guys. We're going to build each other inside this. So if that's of interest, just shoot a message, type the word tribe to 72,000, and you'll get over the next couple of days, I'll send you some information about what we're going to do, and check it out, see if it's something that fits. You guys can always reach out to me. Many of you have my email, my phone number. If you don't have anything, you can find me on LinkedIn. That's usually the best place. And whatever I can do for you guys right now, next week, next month, please reach out. I mean, I'm here to help you. I'm here to break not only financial shackles, but the shackles that keep us trapped in our own minds, in our hearts. Breaking these shackles and opening up ourselves to possibility and hope is my mission. And I'm here for you guys. That's why I'm doing this, because I care about you guys. And I'm looking forward to talking to those of you that I haven't talked with, and seeing you on Zoom, the ones that I do talk with. I can't wait to talk to you again, because you guys are why I do all this stuff. You're why I have like 15 microphones, trying to figure out how to get my voice to you, how to find a better way to communicate. If you saw all the gizmos and stuff I have, it's not because I love this stuff so much. It's because I'm trying to find better ways to lift you up. And if there's another tool that you have, I would love to learn what it is that you have. I would love for you guys to share. We're going to collaborate. We're going to go through this together. We are in this together. We're going to get through this. We're going to get to the other side. I love you guys. I really appreciate you being here on Friday night. And any night that you need a lift up, just reach out. I'm going to do everything I can to be there for you guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon. I'm going to keep sharing stuff on Financial Underdogs, which is this, by the way, the FU, it's the Financial Underdogs podcast. I'll keep sharing stuff, but I really think this is going to be even more important, because creating that tribe is what's going to keep us strong through this whole thing. So I think that we're gonna wrap it up there, and I look forward to seeing you guys real soon via video. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Regardless of what happens, just remember there's somebody in Arizona that's thinking about you and loving you and wishing you well. And I will see you guys soon. You guys have a good night.